Hey y'all, welcome to the Legacy Speaker Show. I am your host, Jasmine Haley, and today's guest is Giovanna Bier. Let me tell y'all, I say this for every single one because my topics are fire. But this one is the one that I hear all the time, and Gigi is not a stranger to our clients and to our program. I've invited her on multiple occasions to share her expertise. She's the founder of My Cats and Me Profit Alignment, and she helps entrepreneurs build a profitable and sustainable business that supports their lifestyle. What I want you to pay attention to is her framework, her CATNIP framework. She focuses on mindset, pricing strategy, and money systems. But most importantly, alignment. That's the part that I feel is missing for most people when it comes to pricing strategy. So we're going to talk about that today. And I want to extend a warm welcome to Giovanna Bier.
Thank you for having me, Jazz. I'm one of your biggest fan. I love being around you, and I feel that when we talk about pricing, it can feel overwhelming because we hear so many things out there about you need to charge a lot because that's your worth, or you cannot charge a lot because you want to be accessible and equitable. This is the formula you need to follow. This is what you need to do. Whatever price you have, you need to double it. Like, we hear so many information out there. And when we're talking about speaking, it's something that is intangible, but you're also sharing your expertise, you're sharing your story, you're sharing a lot of the labor that you had to put that together. And we cannot put a dollar amount to that, right? So how can we find a pricing that feels good is by which price feels good, is by having that intuition of, is this a fair energetic exchange, right? This is
Yeah.
the first question I think that is important to ask ourselves when we're doing pricing, especially when we're talking about, speaking on stages and sharing that with so many other people.
Mm, she's already going in, y'all. But it's good. It's so good because I'll tell you this: when I didn't set my prices correctly, right, based on the exchange of my expertise, I felt it immediately in my body.
Yes.
It felt wrong. It was like my body was about to reject it. It wasn't the feeling that you get where you're excited because this is the highest amount you've ever
Mm-hmm.
requested. It's not the same
Yes.
type of feeling. And what happened, the energy that comes from not pricing correctly, you then bottle up or open the pathway to resentment, frustration,
Mm-hmm.
which impacts your creativity and how you show up. I want to ask you though, because we know that we hear a lot of gurus out there. Like, there's a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch of finance experts that are out there, and they're going out there and they're sharing the information. They're giving you these formulas. But I want to know, for you and your experience with your clients, what led you to focusing on the alignment piece?
Um, because of resentment,
Mm,
because I saw so many people that, from the outside, they're super successful. They are, they're very good in what they do. They are names in the industry that they are at. But when you look on the back end of their business and when we're talking one on one, they're like, I'm ready to burn this thing down. Not gonna curse on your show, Jasmine. That they were like ready to burn it down because they were making offers that made money because they felt they need to make money, but they were not happy anymore. They were not satisfied. They were like, oh, I need to hop on that call again, right? And it's not the client, the client that they were working with or the event that they were going to was not the problem. The problem was the reason why they're doing it, just to make money. While I want to preface, I believe that most of us that have our business, most of us that, want to do speaking engagements and share our truth with more people, we are here to make money. We are a for profit business, right? And it's important to make money to support our lifestyle. However, money is not in a pedestal. Money is just one tool to live the lifestyle that we want. So I feel that it is very important to focus in alignment because it's what it feels good, and what it feels good for me might be different than what feels good to you. So alignment is really like connecting with what I call our inner wisdom. For other people is source, for other people is God. Whatever is that you believe is, it's that. What does it feel good? Because when it feels good, you're always showing up at your best, and that makes the entirely different. That's what makes you different, and that's what makes people be, attracted to you and magnetized, and that's what makes you be the best in what you do, because it's not that you're better than other people, it's just that you're so uniquely you. And I think that the money piece is a piece that we tend to either not look at it or look too much at it. So what
Mhm.
is the and I don't believe in balance per se. I believe in balancing. So there are stages in your life that we're going to be more money driven,
Mhm.
and that's okay, but it still needs to feel good. And
Mhm.
there are other stages of your lives that we're going to be more alignment driven, and that is okay. So how can we find a balancing act of where we are right now, and it's reconnecting with our priorities and what we know it's best for us. So it's almost like an act of putting ourselves first, which can be very challenging, especially for women.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes. So powerful. I have found that speaking is an extremely vulnerable field to be in. I can't tell you how many times I feel like I'm like part therapist, coach, consultant, cheerleader. Like all of these feelings and emotions come up, and it doesn't disappear when you're negotiating your pricing strategy. But I do feel that you have people who give you these rules of thumb. You must do this if it's a virtual stage. You must do this if it's a in-person stage. You must charge this if it's nonprofit. You must charge this if it's for profit. You must X, Y, and Z. I mean, I've seen it all the time, right? And what I need everyone to understand is exactly what Gigi shared. What works for her is going to be different for me. What you need to consider is what is it that you're particularly offering. So even in my programs where I'm spelling out exactly how to set up a foundation for your business, the systems, everything that you need to have in place so that you can create recurring income, I may suggest a baseline for you to start, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be your fee. It
Mm-hmm.
needs to be equitable to what it is that you're offering. So I want to highly encourage us to stop thinking in the black and white and really consider what feels good to me, what's in alignment with me, what is equitable, what would be an equitable monetary exchange for the services that I'm offering right now.
Yeah, I love that because what I feel like, I love a good spreadsheet. I love a good template. My background is accounting, so yes. But what I feel is that those are all guidelines, right? So it anything that we see that they say this is the way, it's not the way. It's
Mhm.
just a starting point. So take it or leave it, whatever feels, important or unimportant to you. um I don't believe in saying this is what it is. Like, if you, high ticket is this, low ticket is that, if you're doing this is this, if you're doing that and that. And if we think about being on a stage, right, like doing a speaking engagement, the things that also to consider is the, emotional and energetic exchange, but also, are you sharing your IP? What can they do with that? Are they recording? Are they going to repurpose that? What is going on? That is very important, because if I'm sharing my IP with a big company, let's say with a Google, and they're able to reuse the content that I'm giving them, my price is going to be different, because I'm going to be devastated if I see somebody else doing exactly what I'm doing because Google repurposed my content, right? And I'm just saying Google because and now I'm on Google Chrome, but any other big company. So so that is one thing, like to really be in integrity with. Another thing is, what is in this for me? Like if I'm just starting my career as a speaker, and I'm gonna have like collaterals, I'm gonna have professional pictures, I'm gonna have all of that, perhaps charging the price that everybody's saying that I should charge is not the best idea, because I'm talking to my ideal clients. So probably gonna get clients from that. I'm gonna get photography, professional videography that I can use on my own content and for my own, sales purposes and whatsoever. So all of those things are like moving pieces that nobody can tell you what is right or wrong other than yourself. So having that clarity, that guidelines and experts, they're sharing what worked for them, and
Hmm.
now it's kind of like your duty to see what works for you. And
Yeah.
that can be challenging. I mean, that's why like having somebody like Jasmine in your corner is so important, because Jasmine knows that. Like you navigated all of that,
Mhm.
and you know what it takes to know what it feels right, because you done what it feels wrong.
Oh,
Right? We all done what it feels
those
wrong.
times I came back for more,
Ex-
more of the
we
wrong.
all, all of us. And I think it's important to give ourselves that grace, right? To know that when we're talking about pricing,
Hmm.
it's not going to be like one day I got it right and that's it.
Yeah.
Never going to get it wrong ever again in my life. That's not, because we change as human beings, the industry changes. So it's always giving yourself the grace to try different things, and knowing that the only person that knows what's best for you is you.
Yeah.
Yes, follow some guidelines if that makes you feel more confident, but don't take it that as, you know, this is the only way of doing it.
Yes, I love that. And this is why I love my program and I love your program, because I fully believe in customizing to your
Yeah.
needs. I have two children. I also live in a completely different state from you. My life is different. You have your family as well. And it's like everybody's life is structured differently. Our values may be similar, right? We care about the same thing.
Yeah.
Our life and what we want our life to be is completely different from one another, which is why a cookie cutter approach can't work for you for something that's sustainable. And the whole purpose of this show is for us to create and establish our legacy. And that means that that we create has to be sustainable, that it can
Hmm.
that it can grow, that it can scale. And that's what I love about what you have, because at some point in time, after you get through the rigmarole of first starting and getting and landing the stages and setting up the monetization strategy for you to build out your level of expertise and protect your IP, you're going to have to hire someone like Gigi to really break down, okay, this is what I have going on, but this doesn't feel like it's sustainable. It doesn't feel right. You're going to, every single business owner, I don't care how far you've come, is going to have to sit down with somebody like Gigi to help you break down, why doesn't this feel right? What can I do to help me get to that next level? And you need the money systems. You need to look at what you desire. You need to look at the foundational pieces, the mindset part, and not ignore all of those three things.
Yes, and thank you for saying that, because what I believe is that any new level that we reach in our business and our personal life,
Mhm.
new things come up, right? And that's why mindset is a work that is ongoing. And I do feel that mindset work with pricing is intimately attached, because of two things. One, as marginalized communities, like Black communities, Latin people, immigrants like myself, we are told that we should just be thankful to be here.
Mm.
And that is something that we might not think about it all the time, but we carry with us, right? Women are supposed to be home, not working. So therefore, oh, I cannot overshadow my partner by making more money than he makes. All those little things, and they're little and they don't come up like you're not saying them out loud, but you feel internally, right? We
Yes.
need to work on that because we are all created equal. We don't come from the same circumstances. We don't came from the same background. We didn't experience the same things in life, but we are all equal. Therefore, we are all worthy of the same abundance, right? Abundance for me might look different than abundance to you, and that's okay. But I need to understand that I'm worthy of everything I deserve at each new level that I get.
Mm-hmm.
That's why mindset is important, is tied with pricing, because if I live in my, I'm an immigrant, therefore I'm just grateful to be here, I always going to be resenting what I'm charging because I know I might be better than a lot of my peers, but because they look different than me, they are charging more because I am like, you know what, I shouldn't be taking this much of this, right?
Yeah.
um and the other part of it that is the completely opposite is my worth is how much I charge. Therefore I'm going to charge $100,000 for this one speaking engagement, but it doesn't feel right because actually you're not delivering $100,000 speaking engagement. I'm sorry, my cat's awake. He's 22 years old, guys, so he is allowed to do whatever he wants in this household. But and he also agree with that, so like is all, that's why like it's the exchange and the work that we're always doing, and then we have to have the systems to support our vision and our growth, right? Because how many people, including myself, probably you, Jasmine, that our business grew, there was a stage that our business grew so fast and we didn't have systems to support,
Mhm.
so we just went to that downward spiral of you know, patching holes
Yeah.
because like, oh, I don't have this, I need to do this, oh, I need to do this. And that's why systems is so important, because if you have the system to support you in a level that you're not at yet, but you know you're gonna get, the growth is easier. And that comes with the mindset of believing that it's possible to me.
Yes.
I kind of went on a tangent over there, but mindset and money are intimately attached. It's a work that you always do, and it's always doing what it feels right. Are you talking about something you're passionate about?
Mhm.
Did your interest change it over time? Maybe you're pivoting to talk about something different, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you need to charge less because you're talking about something else. Actually, you have more experience,
Mhm.
and it makes you a more well-rounded person.
Yes.
So pricing is so, I feel that it's, yes, we have the spreadsheets and we have the formulas, but the real magic of pricing comes from self-empowerment of knowing that this is what it feels right.
Yes. 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 And I think also when we look at speaking, it's so important for you to be around other colleagues, being in a collaborative space, which is why I created my program, to even know what the possibilities are. Because empowerment comes from realizing that the possibilities are limitless for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we are in these free groups or we're just picking and pruning from Google, it can be overwhelming. And when you get focused and have more clarity, that's where the confidence and the empowerment can lay its course or its
Yeah.
foundation in you. But I want to know from you, and because I personally have dealt with money mindset trauma, I feel like this year I've had some amazing milestones when it comes to pricing that a few years ago, had I not done the inner work necessary, I would have been too shook and scared to pitch some of the contracts that I've been able to pitch. So I would love to know at least one mindset hack, something that someone can start today to start building up that muscle for navigating some of the blocks that we put in front of ourselves when it comes to our pricing strategy.
Honestly, the most powerful tool that anybody can do is journaling.
Mm,
Pick up a piece of paper. Like I have like my iPad that I like to write, but I also have notebooks that sometimes I just need a physical thing. But journaling is very important because it's something that you do for yourself, and you also say things that you wouldn't tell anybody else because you feel they're too scary, they're too dark, they're too stupid, whatever you want to name them, right? And one exercise that I love doing, and I do that frequently, it's not a once and done exercise, is write down all the money nonsense in my mind.
mhm,
Oh, I cannot charge this because nobody's gonna pay. Oh, nobody wants to hire me because I look like this, or I don't have the certification, therefore whatsoever. Or people like me don't do this. And sometimes it's ingrained things like, oh, when I was little, my dad told me that people like us are not wealthy.
mm,
Oh, when I was little, once my mom slapped my hand because I went to reach for the expensive candy and I couldn't have it, right? Whatever is, anything that comes up, just write it down. This is
mhm,
a very good exercise to get in tune with our beliefs and our unconscious beliefs, because the reality is 95% of our decisions are made on our unconscious mind. Like we are not conscious of 95% of things that we're doing, that we're saying. So how can we like harness that? It's bringing to the conscious mind. It's like understanding like why I am always on my way. Why do I don't believe that this is possible? Why I am comparing myself with that person? Like any of those things comes from things that are deeply rooted, and sometimes it's from our experience, but there's generational stuff that we carry with us also, right? And journaling is a very good exercise to bring even those things up, right? Because we get to a state of just writing it down, you're in the flow. But after that, instead of just reading like this 200 items of stuff that you have in your mind, you go item by item and you prove them wrong.
mm,
And I think that that is the powerful thing, because we are already making a new connection in our brain saying, oh, this is not the reality. And to prove it wrong can be from your personal experiences, can be from new beliefs, can be from people that you see out there. Like if you say Black women are not successful, well, Beyonce is the proof, Rihanna are the proof, Oprah are the proof that that's not the truth.
mhm,
You may say, oh, but I'm no Beyonce, I'm no Rihanna, I'm no Oprah. However, you're not them, but you're you.
mhm,
So that they prove it's possible. So all those ways. And one funny thing that I'm pretty sure we all were told as a child is that money don't grow in trees.
mhm, mhm.
But money is made of paper. How do we make paper? Out of trees. Bam, already disproved that money does grow in trees. Like sometimes are silly things like that, but it just helps you kind of start shifting the belief. And I believe in adding a sense of humor to things to make it lighter and make it more fun for us to adhere to those rituals and routines. The first time that I wrote my list of things, it was several 10 pages of stuff that I was carrying with me. I don't need to carry them anymore.
Mm,
And so I think that that is the first exercise that anybody can do. It can be as little as 5 minutes, as long as 5 hours. You choose whatever feels good to you, but it's something that you can do consistently. And if you're sending a big contract and you have all those doubt coming up, do the same exercise for this particular situation, because you get clarity on, am I doubting myself because I feel that this is out of alignment? Or
mhm.
I'm doubting myself because that story that I've been telling myself for years. Those are completely different things.
I love that so much. And for anyone that's getting resistance for writing, I am going to give you some options. You can use a voice note. You can
Yes.
actually record your voice. You can go on Zoom and record your voice. You can go on Loom and record yourself via video. And what's great about some of these tools, you can transcribe it. Okay. You've got Rev, you got Otter. Okay, you've got so many applications out there that if you're not in the mood to write, just record yourself talking it out and let them do the writing for you. So don't let a methodology or one form of doing the exercise can be completed in various different forms.
Oh yeah, and you can talk to a friend, right? Like I can say, "Hey, Jasmine, I just need you for an hour to just hear me saying bad things about myself," and that goes. Like I like journaling because it's something that I can go back to. But
Yeah.
if you're recording your voice, if you're talking to a friend, if you're talking to yourself out loud, all of those ways are very powerful too. So there is no, I mean, Jasmine and I agree, there's no one way of doing things. It's
Yeah.
finding a way that works for you.
Yes, absolutely. Now, if people are interested in your services, how do they contact you?
I'm on Instagram. That's where I live. I am hello underscore my cats and me. So a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cats. I hope you like them as much as I do. And my website is ggbier.com.
Awesome. Well, this has been such a wonderful
Thank you.
conversation. Thank you so much for being on the show, Gigi.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure always to be in your light.
Awesome. All right, y'all. That was such a good conversation. I don't know about you, but I feel so empowered. I feel so grateful to be in the place that I am right now, in the consulting company that I am building, and the work that I'm doing in helping speakers, and in the powerful work that Gigi is doing. So if you know that you're stuck, if you know that you're not in a place where you want to share those vulnerable pieces of the money mindset trauma that we may be dealing with, or you may be dealing with, she's a great resource to start that process of removing those blocks. So as you're creating your legacy, you're not only being able to impact the audiences that you're meeting, but you're impacting your life because you're choosing a pricing strategy that's sustainable, that leads to recurring revenue. And of course, if you're in a place where you want to refine your presentation skills, you want to create your signature talk, you want to build out that monetization expertise through your actual strategy, right? Where we can actually build based on your speaking skills. I am here for you. Reach out to me and I would love to help you towards your speaking goals. All right. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye bye.